would like to give anyone that would really like to share a testimony of something that God has done for them in the last week or two, or something that's happened to you where you've prayed and God's brought an answer. Just have a little think about that. And while you're thinking about that, I'm going to ask Hannah to come up because she has an amazing testimony of healing to share with us
Glennie. So 2 weeks ago, I'm a nurse and was at work and unfortunately got injured. I injured my back one weekend working. Since then, I've had to go on to off sick for the last 2 weeks, and it's been quite frustrating. I've had a pain in my left arm, some weakness, and some pain in my right leg as well. So it's a very frustrating time the last 2 weeks. I've been seeing a physio who I know well anyway, and he was sort of quite frustrated as well. We weren't improving, we weren't getting anywhere. And he was now starting to talk about an MRI, and so was the doctor, to find out what was going on. And we'd been praying during that time, nothing had yet happened, and on last Tuesday evening me and my husband went to bed and we prayed that evening. Well, I woke up Wednesday morning and I was 80% better, and we were like, God, that's awesome. It's just completely like out of the blue. It wasn't out of the blue, but it was absolutely awesome. We prayed again that day, and then the next day I woke up and I was 100% better. And so that Friday, so I went to go back to my physio, which was the best part, and he had a really good look at me and couldn't understand like why all of a sudden it had gone, and he was like, so if you could pick one thing that has, helped the most, like exercises, one thing. And I said, do you want my honest opinion? And he said, yeah, we want your honest opinion. And I said, I believe in prayer. Like I said, I've been praying this week, and then I was just able to share with him like what my what my God does, and that I believed in healing and that he heals today, and he just was like, oh, well, I can't argue with that. Like, just being more and more
So God heals today, right? Testimony is very powerful. So what I love about Hannah's testimony of God healing her back is that through the testimony she had opportunity to share with a guy that hasn't yet met Jesus, that Jesus is her healer. How beautiful is that? So I love that about her testimony. That's really beautiful. When Jeremy was speaking, I just need to get my notes up. He quoted Isaiah, who prophesied hundreds of years before Jesus was born, that Jesus would suffer, that he would die, and that he would open up a way for us to the Father. And he prophesied that by his stripes we would be healed, or by his wounds we would be healed. So that's something that he prophesied hundreds of years before Jesus was ever born. Isn't that amazing? And it's happening today. Healing did not die out when the disciples died. Healing is happening right now and today. Jesus said, wherever 2 or 3 of you gather in my name, I'm in the midst. That's Matthew 18. And because we're gathered here today, Jesus is here. The great healer, the great physician is right in our midst. Anyway, what I really want to talk about is testimony. Hannah's testimony, could you feel the power on that as she was speaking? Could you feel that there was like an energy? There's like an activity that comes around testimony. It's very, very powerful. It's like a living substance, and it has the ability to really stir faith in our hearts and to really stir fresh hope for something to break through and for something new to happen. That's the beauty of testimony. In Revelations 19:10 says the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. Well, what does that mean? Well, the testimony of what Jesus did, of who he was, of his relationship to the Father, of all the miracles, they're all prophetic signs that he will continue to do that for his people today. It's prophetic. This is what he did. It speaks into the future. This is what he's going to do for the generations that come. Isn't that powerful? And that's what we're seeing right now. John 14:12, Jesus said, verily I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works that I've been doing. And they will do even greater things than these, because I'm going to the Father. And I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it. So we can ask for things, and God will do those things. We can pray for people, and God will do those things. You know, anything we would do. Can you imagine that? Imagine that Jesus is saying we would do greater things than he did. Greater than healing the leper, raising the dead, you know, blind eyes, deaf ears, like amazing. Food multiplication. Oh, yes. Transporting food. Yeah. So sharing the testimony of what Jesus has done is actually a prophetic declaration of the potential for that to happen to someone else. Do you get that? Yeah. Because Jesus is the same yesterday, today, forever, Hebrews 13 tells us. And also he's not a respecter of persons, and he doesn't have any favourites. So his love is the same for everybody. If he did it for Jesus, he'll do it through. If he did it through Jesus, he can also do it through us. It's not. We don't have to be perfect, born again, you know, righteous and holy for God to do stuff in our lives. In fact, he really understands that we're far from that. All of us. He understands that we're not perfect, and he actually doesn't expect us to be perfect, which is very cool. We often expect ourselves to be perfect, but he does not expect us to be perfect. So prophecy does something else, doesn't it? Revelations 12:11 says, prophecy overcomes and defeats the power of the enemy. Do you remember that scripture? And they, the believers, overcame him, the devil, by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives even unto death. So here we have two elements, the blood of Jesus shed on the cross for everybody, and the power of testimony. So the testimony of his life, but also the power of testimony will stop. So your testimony is your own story. It's your story. It's very personal and it's very real. It's true because you lived it. So you know that it's real. We need to own our own stories, and we need to share our stories with everybody that will listen, particularly the cool stories about what Jesus does. Isn't he cool? He's amazing. You know, this is how people hear that God is a loving Father who is present and actively working in the earth today. They hear it through our stories and through our testimonies. And everyone has a testimony. What's your testimony sound like? Just think for a moment. How did you meet Jesus? Okay, that's testimony number one. Okay? Just think about that. So there are lots of different types of testimonies. The list is absolutely endless as we have our testimony about our salvation. We can have financial testimonies about God, how God financially provided for us, supernaturally sometimes. I've heard testimonies of people finding money, like desperately needing money for something, going to bed and waking up in the morning and money being underneath their pillows, and testimonies of people having money in their shoes, so they'd be in a worship time and suddenly feel uncomfortable and take the shoe off and here's a wad of notes. You know, this stuff happens. It's real. And that testimony is powerful because it says God is not limited by our financial status. Yay! That is so good. Our church is not limited by that either. Nothing limits God. You may have a very powerful testimony about healing. How God supernaturally healed you, like he healed Hannah's back this week. How God may have come and just really strengthened and encouraged your heart with peace at a time when you were very, very stressed and troubled about something. You know, this weekend's a significant weekend for me. 12 years ago this weekend, I was actually healed of lupus. And I don't mean gradually, I mean instantly. Wow. Praise the Lord. 5 years prior to that, so 17 years ago I was diagnosed and I was given a 10-year death sentence. Because the type of lupus I had was so aggressive. But God broke through. And he said that he would. He said, you will be healed. Prophetically, I was given a word. You will be healed, and this is how you'll be healed. You'll hear 2 phrases. Here is your healing. Receive your healing, and then you'll be healed. 5 years later, after we'd moved to another city at his direction, that's exactly what happened in a meeting. A man from America prayed for me, and that is exactly what he said to me. And the minute I heard those 2 phrases, I felt the pain and everything lift out of my body. It was actually the spirit of infirmity. I felt it leave me like something. People need to hear these stories. You know, someone might refute that and say, oh no, you just imagine that. People can never get... Don't listen to the skeptics. Your story is your story, and you know that it's true. And you know that it's real. And when we share that story with people, it empowers people to start hoping again. It empowers people, and it stirs up faith for that to happen for them or for someone that they know. So keep telling your story. You know, you may have a story about how God you really were in a difficult circumstance and you really needed wisdom, and how you prayed and asked for wisdom and suddenly wisdom came. You know, that may be your testimony. Or a testimony of times when you're physically in a very dangerous place and God rescued you and came in and saved you when it seemed impossible. You know, I remember this was years and years ago, but I was in a little tiny 1975 Honda Civic. And I was travelling from Sydney out to Dubbo in New South Wales, going up over the mountains towards Lithgow. And there's this part there, and I don't even know if it's still like it, because I haven't been there for a long time, but in those days it was 2 lanes, and the road just kind of went around a sharp, like hairpin bend, up around like this, going up the mountain. And it was like cliff on this side, and then a deep chasm of emptiness on this side. And I was just driving along carefully in my little Civic, and I got to the bottom of the hairpin bend and looked up, and about 100 metres ahead of me were 2 semi-trailers. One was overtaking the other one. And I knew that my day was done. And I held onto that steering wheel and I just said, God, I don't want to die today. Please save me. And then it felt like an eternity. And I opened my eyes, my fingers were prized onto the steering wheel. I opened my eyes. There was no trucks. My car was parked on the side of the road and the engine was turned off. God intervenes when we cry for help. He really does. You know, testimony is powerful. Can you feel the power released as I said those words? You know, testimony of what Jesus has done, what he's doing is very, very powerful. We need to keep telling our stories. You know, and even just sharing dreams with people and sharing revelations that God's given you, that's testimony. Every time we share a dream, oh, God gave me this amazing dream. That's testimony that God is speaking to us today. You know, it's all wrapped up in testimony. And testimony of what God has done for you is very prophetic, declaring the kingdom is here right now. It's here. And it's for everybody. All humanity. It's for everybody. The world is desperately searching for meaning, authenticity. They're searching for faith. And we need to be brave and courageous and step up, like Jeremy did today. Your story, you know, has the potential to change someone's entire life and bring them to Jesus. What an awesome privilege we have to share testimony with people. Isn't that amazing?